Bill Dore is a man who needs no introduction. A universally respected businessman, dedicated family man, and a man who loves life and all of those around him. Bill's supreme story can be traced back to 1936, when his grandfather set in motion what was to become Bill's life work, Supreme Rice Mill. As time passed and the mill grew, Bill too began his involvement during high school when he started with a broom in his hand. This first taste of the mill life led Bill to pursue a career in accounting, becoming a CPA with Broussard, Pochet, Lewis & Bro, eventually becoming partner. But it seems the mill was calling Bill, and he joined Supreme Rice Mill in 1978, eventually taking over the role of president from his father in 1986. Bill's life in rice has seen him as an industry leader, as a member of Rice Millers Association, and eventually chairman of the board, and a plethora of committees and subcommittees, all in an attempt to serve the rice industry as a leader and advocate. And as times changed, and Supreme Rice Mill became Louisiana Rice Mill, and eventually Supreme Rice, he has remained a trusted leader, revered counsel, and encyclopedia of the business of rice. Recognizing the innate leadership of Bill, he's been tapped over the years to serve on many community organizations, and in 1996, he was chosen as the 60th Rice Festival honoree, following in his father's and grandfather's footsteps. And these are only brief highlights of his supreme career. To really understand Bill is to hear it from some of those who know him best.
When I came to work here, I just knew I was coming to work for a rice mill. I had no idea what was out there and just how important Crowley is and the Supreme Rice Mill is and was worldwide, global. It was amazing to me.
My grandfather started the business in 1936. My dad took the business over when Grandpa died in 1973, I believe. And then 1978, Dad wanted Bill to come work at the mill. And by far, that was the best choice for our family. I was working with Kellogg's away from here. My Gordon Jr. was working for Westinghouse. And by far with Bill, with his accounting background and everything, he was the best choice to come take over the mill and run it for us. Well, when he first started, Dad made him work in the back. So he worked in the back, learning from the very beginning to scratch how the mill ran, rough rice department and everything. So he worked his way for a period of time, learning all that process before he became in the office here.
When he first started here, we had some really cold weather, and we were loading hopper cards out there. And Bill put on his overalls and got up on top of the car to help load them. So he's done some things when he first started over the years. When he was just kind of getting into this business that he would do. But he was out there with everybody, kind of interacting and learning, hands-on to learn what was going on.
Well, I think it gave him a good insight in regards to how the mill ran, the people who were doing a lot of the work back there. Gave him an opportunity to get to know them, understand the flow of the mill. When things they had problems, and he had to work his way through that and learn that process. So I think that was very important that he started from the ground floor up and then worked his way through the company into the office. He became my boss about 4 years ago, and we've had a great relationship, and it's been a lot of fun working together.
He's a very, very generous, interacting boss.
Bill was all right. Every time he come through, he always shake my hand. How you doing, Paul? You doing all right? Shake my hand all the time. Asking is everything going all right. Bill was real nice.
For the longest, I worked in the old scale room. It's not scale room, not even here no more. And Bill would come visit us every morning. And that was, pretty much a highlight of my day and everybody's day, to tell you the truth.
Bill made me laugh every morning. I'd meet Bill to the coffee pot. Bill always had to have the first pour. He'd set the coffee up, pour the water in, and get his cup right under there, and get that first cup of coffee, and then he'll put the coffee holder back in there and let it fill up. He always had to get that first pour in the morning. That was one thing about Bill. First pour, gotta get it, gotta get it.
Bill always had time for anybody. No matter what he was doing, he would find the time to help you out with any kind of issue you had, no matter who you were. He was just a kind, generous man. So I was fortunate to have my desk in a position where we could interact daily.
I had a long conversation with Bill, when I realized he was retiring. I basically told him, I miss him already. If he was here, it was almost daily interaction. We talked every day about markets, what's going on, with the farmers. His son's one of our biggest farmers, so when Jake would come in, he'd come sit with Bill, and he'd come sit with me, and then me and Bill would talk about it sometimes. So yeah, we had a really close relationship.
Bill is one of the most kind, generous people I've ever met in my life.
Very caring about employees.
Good man. I would say honest.
Bill's just a really easygoing, just friendly, open attitude, open door policy. Could always go talk to him about anything, and just a sweetheart of a guy.
Fantastic brother. Loves his family. He has a genuine care for people. Very genuine.
Well, Bill's just he's a great guy. He manages like you want to be managed. He's definitely a people person.
People came to work for this Dore family at this mill, and they never left.
Bill was always nice. He was always a nice guy. A whole bunch of them.
Just want to thank him so much for the opportunity that I've had growing up as a kid, really, here at Supreme Rice, and just the opportunity for myself and my family, and what that has afforded to us from Bill and his family.
Bill kind of gave me the opportunities to move into what at that time was a male-dominated industry, the rice industry. And I would go to meetings, I would serve on boards like the Rice Foundation Board, and there were no women. I mean, I was the only woman.
He's just very full of life, just very calm demeanor, very professional, but very full of life.
Very cheerful, very uplifting. He's always has very kind words to say to everybody. Very loyal guy, that's for sure.
There were so many characters in that one person,
One of the quirkiest things I remember that it surprised me was when he came into the office, and a few times caught off guard, but he would refer to himself when he wanted to make us laugh that he was Will I Am.
I do remember for years him having Black Eyed Peas as his cell phone ringtone, and being, a cubicle away from him for many years, that song would come on a lot.
He comes in my office about 40 times a day looking for Bobby, and probably about 39 of those times Bobby's not in his office. So he would just tell me that I need a green light button and a red light button. So the red light, nope, don't come in. Green light, yep, Bobby's in his office and it's okay to go in.
Me and him for a while were doing bets. He liked to do these dollar bets, and we'd bet on football, or mostly football, the LSU or the Saints or whatever. And he liked to get you to write him a check, because he'd put it on his wall to show everybody, hey, I won. So we were betting, and I was tending to win a little more, and he got frustrated one time and he paid me 99 cents. He would not give me the 1 penny. So this went on for about a year, and he wouldn't pay me the penny. So he'd say, well, let's bet on this. I said, I'm not betting on it until you finish paying your debts. So finally he paid me the penny. All my winnings from Bill Dore are in my desk. I call it the Bill Dore College Fund.
He'd he'd take a nice hour and 15, 20-minute lunch, and I'm assuming then he's taking a nap then and enjoying his time away from the office, but we don't know for sure, but I don't know for sure personally, so his brother probably knows better than I.
Oh, the naps? Yeah, he didn't lick that up off the ground, because when my grandfather got older, he used to go home and every day he wore a coat and tie. I never saw my grandfather in a casual. And he would go home, nap, and he'd take off all of his clothes, and he'd put his pajamas on, get in bed, and sleep till about 1:30. Then he'd get up, put all his clothes back on, and come back to the mill in the afternoon. My father used to go home at lunch, and he'd always lay on the couch for about 30 minutes and take a nap. So Bill learned that honestly about, getting his rest.
We had some really good times outside of business. We had a group of Anheuser-Busch business people coming in. One of them was the owner, August Busch III, and sitting at a table with August Busch was a little bit intimidating, but it was something that you don't get to do much in business, is sit down with a Fortune 100, president of large corporations.
Years ago, the representative that I worked directly with, we sold to Anheuser-Busch, was retiring, and I was invited to her retirement party in St. Louis, and Bill kindly, because I wasn't a good traveler, took my husband and I at the time, and Georgette and her husband, who was the manager here, on a trip to St. Louis to be able to visit and attend the retirement party, and that was a real special time.
His son Jake came to my son Brian's birthday party at McDonald's when Brian was probably 4 or 5 years old, and Brian just thought Jake was the coolest thing, and it's things like that that I remember. We became like a big family, most everybody that worked here and the Dores. And I would just describe them as, yes, they were my employers and I respected them, but they were friends. They became really good friends.
We would go out from time to time. He would take the office staff, some of the head managers, supervisors, and what we called MT time. And you would go out for just 1, maybe 2 drinks, just to keep it simple, get to interact, know each other a little bit better. And there was always jokes, wisecracks, or lots of stories from the past that we'd always get big laughs out of. Every now and then we'd go out as couples too, and he always had this idea that nobody could sit by their spouse. He would arrange the sitting order, and everybody had to sit where Bill said. And there was a time that I sat next to him, and I was so amazed that he's like, what you have looks better than mine. And he starts eating out of my plate. Here, you can have some of mine. You would never expect that from your boss. And that's when you know you really are like family.
We had meal suppers that would get together, usually about once a month, at a couple different camps that we had, and we get together and just socialize and just, low key, chew the fat, sometimes talk a little business, but just a chance, to visit. Sometimes they had the wives, so we got to talk, with them. So it was a nice atmosphere. It was good, a good way to kind of unwind and, get together with the old members,
Bill would always organize with Jerome Rockers, which he would refer to as Rocky. It was his camp, and he would plan the menu, the supper, and everything, and invite everybody to come, and we always had a very good time. But at the end, we always watched for Bill, because he was our pot washer, and that was the only time we would see him wash a pot.
How often do you interact with Bill? Well, over the 24 years, 1,248 weeks, 4,602 days, 36,818 hours, and I can tell you a whole lot of stories. My favorite story, one word, the Fondas. After eating too many baked potatoes, drinking a few adult beverages that made me lose my hearing, and ordered some shots with derogative names that I can't repeat, but the initials are SD and WP. You'll know what they are. But this kind-hearted man stopped every 10 miles from Lafayette to Crowley to make sure I was okay. You gotta love him.
I don't know if he remembers, probably 7, 8 years ago, he gave me some tickets to go to a Atlanta NASCAR race. Never been to a race. I brought my mom and dad. They had no clue what NASCAR was, and they got hooked. And it just so happens, and I know Bill knows this, that was probably a couple weeks before my dad had a stroke. So ever since then, we always had that time, me, my mom and dad, to watch NASCAR together. It wouldn't have happened with Bill. you know, without Bill giving me those tickets and stuff like that. And also Brent, going to Bristol with him, that wouldn't have happened without Bill, and we become closer as a family and been able to talk, and you know, 3-4 hours a day he forgets about a stroke and all that. So, you know, I'll always be thankful for that, and it was really something kind for him to do.
The best thing is our trips, our NASCAR trips. I'd like to say it was bumping elbows with Jeff Gordon, the opportunity to do that, Dale Jr., but actually it's out at the camper, having a beer with Lon and Bill and playing liar's poker. Some of the best times we've had.
Bill, I just wanted to say thanks a lot for turning me on to something else that I never watched before. So now my wife Donna can get mad at me for screaming at the TV, not just for football, but now she can get mad at me for screaming at NASCAR. But you have taught me a lot of things, Bill. One of them is what number the NASCAR drivers are, which I didn't know, and also how to play liar's poker. And so another couple bad habits that you taught me, Bill, but thanks a lot.
His experience was greatly appreciated when we acquired Supreme back in 2006 or whatever. I told him we were kind of rough around the edges. He brought a lot of class to our organization. He helped us, you know, develop our more tact. And he also introduced us to the domestic side of the business, which has been tremendous for us. And you know, it's been a fun ride.
I don't think I've ever even shared this with Bill, but when we actually bought Supreme Rice Mill, he managed to scare me to death, because through the years we've done a few deals, bought and sold a few businesses, but this would be the only time when, after we bought the company, Bill insisted that he take us all out to dinner. And so he, as the seller, took us out to a very expensive dinner, bought some very nice wines, and we had a wonderful dinner, and then he had to leave to go to New Orleans. And all I could think about is, what did we get into? How bad is this that the seller insists on taking us out and buying us dinner? So that was my first real interaction with Bill Dore. But what a wonderful person that he was to do that for us, and of course that was the beginning of a great relationship in our business. So it was fun.
We still got your office empty for you, Bill, if you ever want to come back. I guess one day we'll figure out what we're going to do, but it's kind of sacred ground for the Dore family.
Well, I'm just very proud of him for running the family business as well as he did for so many years. Gordon Jr. and I, and we've talked about it a lot, that we were very, very proud of him, and we really appreciated all that he did for us and for the family, and just love him to death.
Are you retiring from cleaning out pits in the rough rice? Remember all the early morning days working the jumbo puzzles in the newspaper, wanting to know how you can ride 2 motorcycles at one time? By the way, you need to go to work before you can retire. All jokes aside, have fun, enjoy your retirement. Bill, in his young age, would come after school to work with the carpenters. He didn't know how to work the tools, so I showed him how to use a hammer and a skill saw. Then later on, my son Joyson came to work with him, and there was a big freeze, and he didn't want us to go on top of the hopper car to seal it for shipment. So Bill went up and he sealed it himself. Bill and his family were nice, good people to have worked with for 50 years. Bill, congratulations on your retirement. It's been a great experience and pleasure to work with you. I can honestly say that I'm having a great time helping to build the Supreme brand, and that you've helped make that possible for me. You've always been supportive and helpful in the everyday sales operation, and I would not have had the amount of success I've had without your leadership. I hope you enjoy your retirement, as it is well deserved. I wish you all the best in all of your future endeavors.
One word, wow. That's a hard one. Too many words to describe Bill.
He's complicated. I don't know if I can describe him in one word.
Complicated's a word.
Yeah, okay, so I guess that would be it, yeah.
Awesome.
Likeable.
Complimentary. Bill always provides positive feedback when we were building the Supreme brand.
fair, I guess would be a good word. He was a fair guy, fair person.
Respected.
Very happy.
Inquisitive. He liked to ask a lot of questions about Facebook, about Instagram, but he taught me a thing or two about Snapchat.
He was cool. I like it though.
Very, very loyal.
Patient, kind, generous.
Very generous and happy man.
Caring, just caring about people.
I'd say loving, because it kind of, he not only loves the meal and people, he loves his family.
Wonderful, I mean, really. I mean, we had a bunch of wonderful years and wonderful memories, so wonderful is just, you know, one word that comes to mind, you know.
Crazy. Crazy with ambition, life.
Passionate. Passionate. He's really passionate about the rice industry, passionate about rice, passionate about this company, Supreme Rice, passionate about his employees and being successful in the rice industry.
Gregarious.
Aggressive. He was an aggressive businessman. You know, a lot of people don't know that about him. You know, I worked real close to him daily, and he was aggressive when it came to trying new things in the rice business.
Very genuine.
Good. Good person.
Bill, we're gonna miss you. You're always welcome here. Enjoy your retirement. You and Debbie deserve all that you've worked so hard for. I know you have an open door policy. I'll call you when I need you, and just, you know, we're gonna miss you.
Never thought I'd see the day he would retire, but I wish him well, wish him luck, and I don't know if he has too many hobbies, but I kind of think maybe Debbie will teach him how to do housework or yard work or something like that, for lack of anything else to do. But anyway, all joking aside, Bill, I wish you well, and it was wonderful working for you.
Bill, it's been a pleasure to work with you. I've really enjoyed it. Now I have to take over the coffee duty in the morning to make the morning coffee, but it's okay. You're welcome anytime. You come over and see us. We miss you.
I miss him. Chill out with the grandkids and your wife and your family. And God bless y'all.
I want to congratulate him for retiring, and that I enjoyed working for him, and that after he retires, I want to know if he's going to go drive a tractor for his son. His son farms our property. I know better than that.
Hope he enjoys the rest of his retirement.
Good luck, best wishes. I'm jealous, and being part of this team now, the Supreme team, I look forward to carrying on the legacy of the Supreme name in honor of him and his family.
Congratulations on your retirement, Bill. Well deserved, and enjoy it and travel the world.
I'm gonna miss Bill. Bill was a nice guy. He was warm, and he was enjoyable to be around. I'm really gonna miss him.
Thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for the opportunities that you have afforded us through the mill itself, for all your hard work and efforts here, and best of luck to you.
What I'd like to do is wish Bill the best of retirement. You've earned it, buddy. Enjoy it, but please put on that red leather suit and ride that Ducati over to Lafayette and have lunch with me. Please promise me that.
Just one message. I usually sign for his wine and in the afternoon for UPS. So I'm gonna tell him now that I'll give him 2 days. If he doesn't pick it up in 2 days, he comes home with me.
Hey Bill, you're like family to me. I'm gonna miss you around here. Love you just like family, but enjoy your retirement.
Keep moving, don't stop. Get up, move around, because you sit down too long, that boy look like you just get shorter. You start drawing up and everything ache and all that, yeah.
You know, when I retired from Kellogg's after 34 years and, you know, working 60, 70 hours a week and traveling all the time and everything, and when you do stop, it takes a little while to adjust to it, but it will come to you over time. And that's what I keep talking to Bill about, is that give it time, you know, work through the process, and you'll be fine.
I pray for his wife.
Bill, you've been my boss, my mentor, but most importantly, my friend. Your kindness, generosity towards your employees, your staff, the community, and countries all around the world feeding the children have always made me proud. Working and being a part of the Supreme team. Wishing you the best in all of your future endeavors and praying that Debbie can put up with your ass at home. You know you'll be cramping her style. Love you, Debbie. Love you, Bill. Good luck.
Well, Bill, I never thought this day would come, but you're actually retiring. What you and your family have done in creating Supreme Rice was extraordinary. I know your grandfather and your father would be proud of what you've accomplished in your career. Now it's time to enjoy more time with your grandkids. I know how much you love spending time with them. I want to thank you for everything you've done for me. I'm sure going to miss the wise counsel you've given me over the years. You'll never know how much you really helped me. You have been a blessing in my life. I love you, and I'll miss you more than you know.
Congratulations on your retirement, Bill.